it's time to put on the stethoscope and sit back and relax because we're all going to learn something from the doc at Neutrog. He'll give us some more information. Oh, now this is what we've been waiting for. Seaweed and kelp. Just what does it do and what effect does it have on your plants? Uwe, good morning to you.
Good morning, Graham. Yes, I guess, there's seagrasses, which a lot of people would see washed up on the beach, and that's actually a plant because it produces flowers in the root system. And seagrasses are a good source of nutrients, especially some of those micronutrients such as zinc and iron. But really then there's the kelp or the seaweed, which is actually an algae and not a plant. And the special thing about those is that the kelps contain those significant amounts of plant growth hormones. And kelps also help plants to hold more water, so they become more resistant to stresses such as frost and drought. And on top of that, just like the seaweeds, the kelps are a good source of micronutrients, and especially things like iodine and selenium, which are really lacking in many Australian soils. But when we start to look at individual kelp species, we actually start to see there's differences in both their nutrient content and their ability to promote plant growth.
Wow. So what you're saying is not all kelp and seaweed products are the same.
Well, exactly. There's a whole range of different products on the market, and some use Australian bull kelp, others use kelp from the Northern Hemisphere. So the big question is, which kelp is best for your individual settings? And it brings us back to that idea I keep talking about, which is diversity. And I mentioned that in our chats in soil biology, but it also goes for input products. So at Neutrog, we use a combination of 3 different kelps from around the world. So that really ensures that your product has the largest diversity of active compounds, giving you the maximum benefit regardless of the soil or plant type.
Wow. So what are some of these differences?
Well, firstly, there's differences in nutrient content, which include some of those micronutrients, and then there are differences in such things as betaines, which help plants cope with stress, as well as different sterols, which are really lipids required for membranes. So some of the red and brown algae, they contain the same lipids as those found in plants. And alginate, which is the stuff that makes kelp sticky and slimy, is found really only in the red and the brown algae. So these alginates are known to stimulate soil fungi. So at Neutrog, we use these different kelps in our biological fermentation system, and that really allows the bacteria and fungi, which grow in that system, to break down and extract those beneficial compounds. So in addition to the kelp, obviously, in GoGo juice, you also end up with things like humates, other plant growth-promoting compounds, and that really diverse range of microbes. So I guess, GoGo's juice is different in that it uses a natural extraction process to obtain that maximum benefit when it comes to a seaweed and kelp product.
Wow, that's fascinating. I've always wanted to know about that. So seaweeds not only contain plant growth hormones, but a whole range of other beneficial compounds, listeners, to help your plants cope with stress. Now, I often say that, when you're transplanting and putting out seedlings or big shrubs or trees from a pot, that's transplant stress, and they help plants to grow at their best. And GoGo juice from Neutrog doesn't rely on a single kelp species, but uses a diversity of these algae to actually ensure maximum benefits. GoGo juice, of course, you can get from Neutrog, available at Bunnings, other hardware outlets, and, of course, all good garden centres. That was brilliant. Thank you for that, Uwe. Love it.
No problem. Have a fantastic week, Graham.
You too. Yeah. Keep safe, buddy. Keep safe. Isn't that incredible? See, we know why. Well, we know seaweeds are good. Now we know why.
Traffic. Get a